Welcome to this new episode of Renegade Talk. Today we have the incredible VicTaurus from the UK. Hi.
Hi, Luis. You okay?
I'm fine. I'm really happy to have you on today. I think there are many renegades who want to hear more about your story, so it's really cool
Thank you for
you wanted
having
to
me.
do this with me. Thank you
It's an
so much.
honor.
I wanted to know how you started and when you started writing lyrics and how that came about.
Well, as people know, Ren was a big inspiration as soon as I found that man. And I remember just learning his lyrics so quickly and picking it up. I started doing lip syncs.
Hmm?
Then people wanted to hear my voice behind it. So I started doing Ren covers.
Okay.
And then Victus came along.
Yeah.
I went to Victus's first show down in Brighton. And once I started meeting people, there was questioning like, if you can pick up these lyrics and you can rap the way you do, why are you not writing?
Yeah.
So it was just like a light bulb just went off, and I was like, do you know what? I've never tried, to be honest.
Oh, you'd never
But
written lyrics
listening to
before?
these, never, no. I thought, nah. Like, I'm good at rapping, I'm good at doing this and that, I'm alright at dancing, acting, performing arts in itself, but I've never thought about rapping. So after I came home from Brighton, that was it. I started writing. I remember I was going through a really dark phase in my life with breakup and everything else, going back to my mum's. So I said, you know what? I need a path. I need something to focus on. I need
Yeah.
like a therapy.
Yeah.
So I started writing and I came up with, I think my first one was Parallel Universe.
Yeah.
I know that's not on YouTube because the mixing is terrible. Like, I've still got the headphones I was using to record. I remember holding it. It was my iPhone headphones wired, and I've Ren in my ear with a reel saying like, if you've got a phone, if you've got headphones, like, do it. What's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you from doing this. If you enjoy it, if you're happy doing it, do it. Try it.
Had you ever thought about this? Had you ever thought, well, I'd love to be a musician or I'd love to be an artist and to rap or
The
sing or
most,
something? Was that something that crossed your mind even earlier in life? Did you ever think,
oh God,
or was it like
yeah.
something you really loved? You love music, but this is like an unattainable dream because it's too big?
Yeah, I thought like you had to have something the industry was looking for,
Yeah,
or if you haven't got the looks, if you haven't got what they're looking for, they're not going to pick you out. There's so many people, and there was so many people saying like, there's a lot of people out there trying to make that dream. It's so hard to do that. Like you need
yeah.
to take a step back, maybe do performing arts at college,
Mm,
see where you get at. I loved going to Butlins as a kid. So I saw the Redcoats being on stage, doing a part of that, but not as much into music. It was more dance. So I said I'd love to become a backup dancer for some type of artist.
yeah.
Like I'd be happy just being in the background, doing what I love to do.
Did you do any dance lessons, take dance lessons?
Never in my life have I took one dance lesson.
Okay, but you love to dance.
I learned, yes, I learnt myself in the mirror growing up. And then as soon as I could, I went to college and did it.
Yeah,
Then I learnt the stage performances and the professional side to things with lighting. So all that came to me, and I've just took a step away from that, and but still got all that what I've learnt to put into my own now.
yeah,
Like I out walking into this blind now because of doing performing arts,
yeah. Because
and there was
you learned along
the
the way.
best years
And
of my life doing them. Mm.
yeah, and so going back to the lyrics, so you wrote your first song, and you experience that feeling of putting your emotions and your story onto paper and being able to do something artistic with it. And so
Mm,
I've been listening to your songs, and they all have the same undertone in them, which is that you overcame some stuff in your life and that now you're happy to be in a different situation, or to have overcome those struggles. So
mm.
what are the parts of your life that are the most inspiring for you to write about?
Growing up, knowing that I was different, but not knowing why.
Mm,
And then I got diagnosed at 30 with being on the autism spectrum,
okay.
ADHD.
Yeah.
I knew I had OCD,
Yeah.
but there was no labels or anything growing up in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
90s, or
Yeah.
it was just you dealt with it, or you was different, or so yeah, that was a big inspiration, knowing myself,
Mm.
but not knowing why. And then now I know why, but now it's just a label.
So when did you hear about Ren the first time? When did you discover him then?
I was in my deepest, darkest time. Like I have had people ask me this, and I'm like, it's deep.
Oh,
If you want to know, I'm happily to tell you.
oh, that's what we're here
But
for.
yeah, yeah. First time I heard Ren, I was in my mate's back garden. My friend was scrolling through TikTok, and I heard, "Hi there, Ren. It's been a little." I was like, "Who's this?" Oh, it's a kid. So I typed him in. I followed him. I said, "I'll check him out."
Yeah.
Then he just went out my mind. Came what, a month later, something like that. I was going through a dark time. I was really suicidal,
Mm.
and I went to my place, as people have. They have the place to go and think. I went to mine, what is in the I'm Alive video.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was scrolling through my phone, and he came up whilst I was thinking who would miss me
Yeah.
if I was just to stay here.
Mm.
See how long, if I'd just to go over them bars.
Mm.
And he came up, and I went into him, and I think I was sat there for about 3 hours until my phone had gone dead. And it was him that got me up, and I want to go back home. I want to read about this guy. I want
Mm.
to know his backstory.
Mm.
Who is he? Oh my God, I'm not alone.
Mm.
It's like the male version of me. That's what I say all the time. It's like the male version of me. Who is this guy? So yeah, he made me get up. My phone went dead. I got up, came back home, and I went deep down into that rabbit hole
Yeah, of course. So
all night.
it was High Ren then, the first one you heard.
The first ever, yeah, as for most, the first ever one was Hiren through TikTok.
And so
And
when you
then
got back home and you decided to look deeper into who he is as a person, as an artist and stuff, what really caught your attention where you thought this is very relatable and this is something I'm experiencing too?
Sick Boy.
Yeah.
When I heard Sick Boy and I watched the video to
Mm.
Sick Boy, that it was like an awakening
Yeah.
of, oh my God, I've never read these types of lyrics before, but you can relate so much to these lyrics.
Mm.
It's like he's gone through the same as myself.
Mm. I've been a kid in the 90s and you've been a kid, more 2000 in the 2000s. But
Mm,
what in those times I remember between when I was a kid and when I was a young adult, nobody really went into deep conversations about mental struggles. And it was like, if you had an issue, it was either you had a psychiatric issue. So if you were talking about feeling depressed, people were just like, oh, you're feeling a bit down, and, it's going to pass and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
And don't worry. And, in a few weeks, you'll feel better. And there was no like recognition of what you were going through. It was either that or you had a serious psychiatric issue and you were in the deep depression and you should go to the hospital or to a psych ward. In the past few years, a lot of people have been talking more and more about mental health and trying to open up the conversation. That's also what I'm trying to do on both my podcasts, is to be to have less of a restraint to talk about those things and be more open, because I think actually when you start talking about mental health struggles, there's so many people that are going, oh yeah, me too, and I experienced that too, and oh yeah, I also had a panic attack, or
Mm.
I also had a depression. So I think it's like, you can, if you start talking about it, you can see how many people are experiencing the same things you are. So it's really, really important to have an open conversation.
It's
Yeah.
such a nice feeling knowing that you're helping somebody else get through it, even though
Yeah.
you've never met this person.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
such a nice feeling. So I'm like, who am I to stop doing this if this is where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah.
And I'm getting told I don't class myself as a goat or anything like that. I'm just me. I am
Yeah.
me, just doing me.
Yeah, of
Little
course.
me.
Do you feel more like yourself now doing this than you did before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like I said, it's like a therapy to me as well. It's also helped me a lot, get through a lot. It simply that song Angel Baby, like I've had so many women that have messaged me. Like I feel like that song is written for me,
Yeah.
and I know it's not the best mix or anything, but it is gonna get re-recorded, and I believe that it does help people.
What's it
Just
about for those who don't know?
um Angel Baby is about my baby who I lost. Me and my partner at the time wanted a child, but he is trans.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through some type of like IVF home stimulation.
Yeah.
We did it all legally. We got a contract. We got a donor. Bearing in mind, I've never been caught pregnant before in my life, but it happened, and I was over the moon because that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And but unfortunately, I believe I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Mm.
That it just wasn't my time, and now years down the line, like it'd have been 3 this year, I've come to learn like this is my path.
Mm.
I believe that's why he's up there and that it was too good for here. And I've just got to think positive about it. But yeah, at the time I wrote that song, I just let it out, and I've had so much acceptance from it, knowing like, yeah, I'm not the only one feeling like that as well.
There are some um there's some experiences we have that are our worst experiences and the ones that cut the deepest and that really hurt the most. But if you can find a purpose in what you experienced, then that helps you grow and it helps you heal the wound. So I
Mm,
think it's, as long as you don't find any purpose in what's happened to you and what you've been through, then it's really heavy to carry along. But if once you have that purpose, it becomes something else, it transforms into something beautiful. And I
yeah,
think
it
that's
does.
what you did with the song too.
Yeah, And that was right at the beginning as well when I started writing. I thought I'd get, and that's what made me become an awareness rapper,
Yeah,
not just a rapper. There's so many female rappers out there, and they look like this on camera, and that's not going to be me. Like,
yeah,
I'm more awareness. I'm not there to be looked at
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Like, the industry puts you through mostly. It's what the
Well,
people want to see in it,
yeah, and
usually.
I think there is, with people like Ren and like Victus and all the different artists we find around Ren and he's worked with, and loads of other independent artists around the world.
Mm,
There's also, I think there's a shift going on in the music industry between what the music industry wants to show people and wants
mm,
people um, to want, and then what people really want. And what
yeah,
people really want is genuine artists that are
they
expressing
want the
something
truth.
real
Mm,
and something authentic. And I
yeah,
think as long as you're being really authentic and you're being true to yourself and to your story, then I think we're never, there's never just one person that experienced uh, something or one emotion. I mean, and everything we have experienced in our lives uh, are happening with different circumstances for everyone, but the emotions that we experience through it are the same. So, I mean,
mm,
sadness, anger, and all the emotions people can relate to.
it
And so
is.
I think if you're staying true to your story, then you're going to find your audience anyway, because people are going to relate to what you're singing about and what you're rapping
Yeah,
about. So I
and
think
that's what
really
I've always said as well. Sorry for cutting you off, Lee.
no, no, go on, go
But
on.
yeah, I believe if you haven't been through it, you can't relate as much. And I've had people listen to my music and they're just not interested because I'm like, but I know their background, and I'm like, I think it's because you haven't been through it. Like that's
Yeah,
why. And it's not heartbreaking, but it does hit to know like people can't like your music because of that reason. But I believe there's a time in life where everybody goes through a dark
oh yeah,
path
of
and they
course.
come
Yeah,
out
sure,
being
sure.
themselves eventually. It just takes time,
Yeah, yeah,
just
of
takes
course.
a bit more time for others than it does.
And well, then,
And
I mean,
yeah,
objectively speaking, you can't love every musician and every music and all the
mm,
lyrics. And I mean, there are obviously people around you that just are not going to be into what you're doing. And that's okay, because then there are other people who are really going to love what you're doing. So I think that's also about finding your true audience and finding, the people who really appreciate the work you put in and what you
yeah,
talk about. And you don't have to be loved by everyone. And I mean, obviously, when we're talking about art, there are people that are going to love it and hate it, and all the in betweens.
yeah,
But you
for
don't have
sure.
to be. There's no need to be loved by everyone. That's an impossible task anyway.
Mm,
But I think you can really find your true audience through people who are really connecting, with what you're saying.
yeah, music does help. A lot of music helps all day, every day.
Yeah,
And I cannot sit in a quiet room. I've got to put, depending on what mood I'm in, I'll
yeah,
put them songs on, and then it's white noise when I go to sleep. And then hearing them lyrics from Ren and the boys, and no, no, God, yeah, I'm not alone in that sense either.
yeah.
So everything just relates and it goes round in one big circle. But
But so going back to Ren, because you're bringing him up, then you discovered him as an artist.
mm,
You went down that rabbit hole. Saw what he was about as a musician, as a rapper, and his story and everything. And that if that was at the high Ren moment, that was about 2 years ago, 1.5 or 2 years ago.
Mm.
And so afterwards, what was the what was like the tipping point where you started discovering, the people around him and Victus and all of those people?
Um, he did money. It was just before Sick Boy was Sick Boy
Yeah.
had just been released, the album, I think. I was releasing it, and he was doing the Money Game Part 3,
Yeah.
Sick Boy Garden Party. I ended up going there by the off chance. I just thought I'm buying a ticket, but I have no idea how I'm going to get there. Yeah, I ended up getting in contact with who I call my renegade bestie now, Debbie, and we went down. I met Vic, I met Joe, I met Connor. Uh, all the team was there, and it was a surreal moment because I remember him coming up to me and was like, "VicTaurus off Instagram, you know me, Victus." Like, yeah, I was over the moon, and it was like I've been seen
Yeah.
because I did uh just a karaoke version on some app of Down on the Beat, and I just uploaded it on Instagram, and Ren liked it, Victus liked it, and they knew me from that. So I was like, wow, I'm known by the team, and it's crazy. And yeah, that was when I fell into Victus and I started listening to him, and then Knox Hill came along,
Yeah.
and then it was just in my own little bubble of these three lads, always in my ears,
Mm.
and it was like these are my dream team.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
can pull a whole lot of inspiration from them, and each of their individual stories and what they've been through and how they managed to
mm,
achieve what they're doing now. And it is very, very inspirational. And especially
yeah,
if you're a creative person and you are an artist, then you can really take some of that inspiration, apply it to you and to your art and what you want to do and what you want to
mm,
what an artist you want to be. So
yeah,
yeah, it's really great. And I just wanted to touch upon the secret garden party a bit because you've been
mm.
and I haven't.
Oh,
So I wasn't there. I would if I would have known, I would have been there. But yeah, I didn't go last year, and so I've seen so many pictures and so many videos, and it seemed like an amazing thing and an
oh
amazing
God, yeah,
festival, and so well organized and with so many different artists, and it looks
really,
really, really great. So I can only
yeah.
imagine you had an amazing
Oh,
time there, and especially because you had a very, very special moment too, right?
I know. And I've had so many people ask me about this story, so I'm happy to tell you this story because I'm sick of getting asked about it, to be honest, because I'm just repeating and repeating and repeating, and the way people make it out, it's yeah. So
Well, then
it was
put
the
it to bed
Sunday.
once and for all, and so now you can put it on
Yes,
camera, and then if someone
yes.
asks you, you can just clip the video and just send it over to them.
Send them the link. I
Yeah.
will. So yeah, Saturday night was atmosphere was wow. Like I was so overwhelmed I couldn't sleep. But the Sunday, um, after the shows, we was just sat waiting for Chinchilla.
Okay.
A few of us just sat on the hill, and my friend Rosie at the time turned round and said, "Guess who was behind you?" It was about 10 feet away. That was it. Like my legs went like jelly. I know exactly who she was on about. I had to sit down. I just started stemming and I couldn't even look. But as I looked around, he was sat on the hill behind me. Why don't you go over? I said, no. I've said it to everybody. If I ever got the chance to meet this boy, he's only human. I would never approach him. No matter how much I want it, I'd never do it. So next minute, now I know. My friend Rosie went across and I didn't know at the time. And she said to him, will you do me a favour, please? There's a girl sat over there and it's like she's going to have a panic attack because you're only so many feet away from her. It's VicTaurus. She's got a tattoos on the neck. She's got your signature on the neck. So he jumped up and he came across and my throat's going just telling you about it. And Rosie said, Vic. So I turn round and I just get a tap on the shoulder and I just hear, you all right? I went, oh my God, that was it. I just started crying. I said, I can't even look at you. And that's the pictures you'll see in the video of him like coming down saying, you all right? You okay? You had a good festival? That's all he kept repeating to me. Like trying to get me out of this panic attack thing, whatever I was having, like anxiety attack. I was like, yeah, I just can't even look at you. And he said, are you all right? I said, yeah. I said, after your show last night, I said, you boys killed that show last night. And I said, there's just one thing I want to say. Don't ever change. Don't ever change, boy. That was it. Whilst I was crying my eyes out, like, don't you ever, ever change. No matter what this world gives you, because he deserves it. Please don't ever change. That was it. He was like, you've had a good weekend, da, 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 da. And that was like, the rest was just a blur, I think. Like, he got up because there was so many people, as soon as I realised. Like, they kept creeping and then they wanted to talk to him themselves. And so I was just sat there checking while he stood right next to me and I'm like this and I'm like looking up whilst he's speaking to other people and I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe that's just happened. Like, wake up, Vic, wake up. And yeah, that was it.
What is VicTaurus's future that look like then?
This year I'm hoping. See, I've got a lot of visions in my head to do this year, but my next my next step is I want to do a home music video of the state I grew up on
Yeah.
with the song I'm trying to record. I'm just tweaking it at the moment, called Roots. So I want to get that sorted and then hopefully by the end of April I will be moving down to Brighton.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes, I will be moving down to Brighton. Not a lot of people know, but
Well, now
they're
everyone's
gonna
gonna
know
know.
now. So yeah, I'm gonna be moving down to Brighton, not inside the city, but just on the outskirts. I'm like, that's where I need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful and I'm so lucky that I've got people down there who are willing to help me because without them, it wouldn't have even crossed my mind. I'm like, that's another dream that I need
Mhm.
to wish away because I haven't got the funds or anything to move down to Brighton. So to have that there to say, right, when you're ready, you'll
Yeah.
come to us and we will help you is a big thing to me. So
You've invested yourself in your dream now, and you have people around you that are willing to help, and I think that's really great. And I think
it is a blessing.
you are on the right path there. And if you're feeling true to yourself, and if you're feeling aligned with yourself, it's because you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
So yeah, I believe in you. I think you're going to do great over there.
thank you. I think it's courage.
Yeah.
breaking through this anxiety wall of fear and going into the unknown. I think, like, if I push it, I'll do it. I know I will.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you have the courage to go to places you're scared to go to and to do things you're scared to do, oftentimes you find yourself in amazing situations you would have never experienced if you hadn't overcome that.
Yeah.
So that's
And if
probably
I
what
don't
I,
do it, I'll only regret it. I know I
oh
will.
yeah.
I'd be stupid not to.
And so as I usually ask everyone at the end of the interview, I
Hmm.
want to clip something together for the entire season
Hmm.
with the different people I interviewed. And so I want to know, if Ren watches this video, what would you like to tell him?
Thank you for being you. Never change.
Thank you so much for this interview. It was really, really nice having you on this episode. And if you could
Thank you for
just,
having me.
oh, it was a pleasure. If you could just remind people of your handles on socials and on YouTube where we can find you.
Yes, all platforms. Instagram is _Vic_Taurus _, I believe.
So Taurus
Um,
is Taurus, right?
VAUR. Yes, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to think then. Um, Facebook, Vic Start. YouTube, VicTaurus. All of the platforms, VicTaurus.
Oh, perfect.
So
So everyone
yes,
can go and watch your videos and listen to your music there.
yes, yes, and there will be one out very soon, I hope. But before the end of April. So my next one.
And you mean a new video?
A new video, a new song. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll go
So
and listen to that then. Well, thank you
yes.
so much, and I hope to hear from you soon again.
Thank you, Lisa.